You know, while all these idiots in Congress are so concerned about TikTok, it's really ironic that they just decided to close down the Global Engagement Center. That's the State Department's relatively tiny little agency that is responsible for detecting and disrupting disinformation campaigns from abroad. To be clear, this is not an agency that is in any way involved in detecting disinformation stateside from people like Donald Trump or Elon Musk, like the two biggest and most influential spreaders of disinformation in the United States. This is strictly about detecting disinformation from abroad that targets the U.S. and our allies. Now, why is this important? Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, all of our major adversaries, before anything gets kinetic, meaning before anything goes boom, they seed the information space with narratives that are meant to affect Americans and our allies to turn our democracies against our own interests. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that Russian and Chinese trolls come onto social media platforms and the internet more broadly, and they try to convince Americans, quite successfully in many cases, that what Russia or China or Iran or North Korea are doing is actually a good thing for the United States. Ever wonder why Tucker Carlson, Fox News, OAN are all pro-Putin, pro-Russia? It's because of disinformation campaigns. It is not strictly because these idiots on the right have a natural tendency to look at anything that the left is talking about and just do the opposite because they think the opposite must be a good thing. It's because they are immersed in Russian and Chinese propaganda. Now, for context, this is not part of the intelligence apparatus. So this is not what Donald Trump is proposing Tulsi Gabbard, who swims in Russian disinformation all day on purpose. It's not something that she would be in charge of. It's something that would be under the control of now Senator Marco Rubio. Now, Marco Rubio is a man with a lot of flaws, but he is someone who I think is genuinely concerned about the security of the United States. Now, he may be Donald Trump's little pet and do whatever Donald Trump says is good, but at the end of the day, I think he's cut of the same cloth of like Rex Tillerson. Again, a man with a lot of flaws. If Donald Trump likes you, you're probably a flawed individual, but he's someone who would definitely butt heads with Donald Trump when it comes to protecting the United States from foreign threats. So if the Global Engagement Center had survived this year and wasn't shutting down right now, Marco Rubio, who is very, very likely to be confirmed as our next Secretary of State, there's at least somewhat of a good chance that he would have supported that office in a way that potentially makes up for the sabotaging of the American intelligence apparatus by Trump's other more harmful appointees. So the State Department's Global Engagement Center, it is gone. It is dead. It is going to disappear. And that happened on President Biden's watch. That happened with Democrats in control of the Senate. So I don't want to make the blame fall entirely on MAGA Republicans. Senator Schumer is at least as much to blame. Listen, we're entering a new stage where Democrats need to stop messing around and being weak on national security, because MAGA Republicans are actively sabotaging it, so we need to build as many walls as we can as they work to tear them down. And that starts with controlling the information space. Right? That's the purpose of the Global Engagement Center, to make sure that we have control of the information space, or at least knowledge of narratives that are coming from overseas with the intent of sabotaging the interests of the United States. Democrats may lack power as the Trump administration comes in with both the House and Senate under Republican control. But the opposition party is the party that gets all of the attention from the media if they simply make noise and just become effective opposition. So the Global Engagement Center is probably not coming back. There's like no chance that it'll come back over the next 4 years as Donald Trump or any other Republican like Elon Musk controls the White House. So Democrats need to start thinking about the really long term. Let's make sure that apps like TikTok actually survive. Because let's be real, if you're seeing this video on any other platform, it's probably getting way, way, way fewer views than it is on TikTok. Because political speech across Meta or any other major social media platforms, Facebook, Threads, Instagram, is not only not monetized, but it's punished by the algorithm. It is suppressed. So Democrats who are going to be coming into office in January 2025 to begin their new term, they need to be singularly focused on messaging and seeding the information space, not just with truthful messaging, but with messaging that is devastating to the Republican Party, to undermine their efforts to sabotage the safety and security of the American people and our interests as a nation.